One of the Brooklyn sculptors embraces Mercury's solid limestone arm. Picking up golf balls off a driving range in Japan, 1956. Russian soldiers playing a piano in a ruined house. Berlin, Germany, c. May 1945. Japan ground self-defense force troops and Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department officers decontaminating the area at the Tokyo subway sarin attack, 1995. Brittany Murphy, 1998. Michael Jackson on a safari, 1970s. French colonel leads a column of goumiers at the parade celebrating the liberation of Marseille, 1944. Department store, Mobile, Alabama, one of a series of 1956 photographs showing the story of the Thornton family living in the segregated South. Ivan Misko working on a sculpture of cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin, 1962. New York, 1970s. Getting inventive for yearbook photo. Montana farm children hanging out at home, 1937. Lady dressed in men clothes semi-strangles other lady while they share a kiss, circa 1870s. (1980) SAS operators storming the Iranian embassy in London to rescue hostages. A student from the Mari Polytechnic University with an MPI-4 backpack aero engine powered by a Druzhba chainsaw at VDNKH, Moscow, 1970. Man sports a beehive hairdo made out of bees. The world's most beautiful woman in the 1900s, Lena Cavalieri. A cavalryman bracing his rifle on his horse, 1899. Sniper from C Company, 5th Battalion, the Black Watch, in position in a ruined building in Gennep, Holland, 14th of February, 1945. Two women feeding a black bear at the Miami Zoo, 1931. Cultural Revolution in China. A boy in tattered clothes shakes his fist at the bourgeoisie. A young boy and his puppy amid tornado wreckage in Murfreesboro, Illinois, March 1925. President John F. Kennedy greets Indonesian President Ahmed Sukarno at Andrews Air Force Base, Maryland. The morning after Soviet troops entered Baku on January 20, 1990, Danny DeVito high school yearbook photo from 1961. The sound system had to be very good to overpower that train passing by. 1950s. Bringing Canadian wounded to the field dressing station at Vimy Ridge in April 1917. Valencia's flood in 1957. Cyclists were good at following the rules in 1930. Quite the fancy motorhome, 1922. A young geisha, 1900s. Flooding from the Illinois River in East Peoria in December 1982. A brewer and his pet raven at a London brewery, 1934. World War I German Cavalry Patrol. Test of a bulletproof vest by the Berlin Police, 1931. Candlelight costume, circa 1920s. Someone was scolded for acting up. New York City, 1940. Dazibao, handwritten wall newspapers with large characters, became a symbol of the Cultural Revolution in Beijing, hanging on street walls to spread propaganda, criticize officials, and express revolutionary views. Victorian old lovers. Old Bill the Beggar. Mr. William East, known as Old Bill, plays the gramophone in London streets. 11 May 1969. Little Girl on the Telephone, 1935 Sweden. Studio portrait of a Chinese woman and a Manchu woman with a pot of chrysanthemums, 1905. Young Geisha, 1900s. Girl use hairdryer. A woman points to an anti-Japanese sign outside her home in Hollywood, Los Angeles, 1923. May 5, 1945. The beginning of the Prague Uprising as part of the May Uprising of the Czech nation. Barricades. Dunfermline Skating Rink Band, c. 1900. Klondike Gold Rush prospectors at the summit of Chilkoot Pass, 1890. Soldier's farewell to his wife at Penn Station, New York City, before returning to war, 1943. A day nursery in the East End of London where the children shelter in a linen cupboard during an air raid. A British soldier kissing a French farm girl under mistletoe, 1917. A clown from 1914 with a butterfly in the shape of hands that looks like it could strangle. Senegalese infantryman serving in the French Army, 1914. Sofia Vergara 90s. Pyramid, Moscow, 1954. The two Heathers, Thomas and Locklear in the 1980s, showing the decade's signature look. Sofia Vergara, 1990s. Betty White on her 6th birthday, 1928. Penthouse magazine founder Bob Guccione, photographed in his Manhattan home in the late 1970s. Dressed up for Easter in Pittsburgh, 1954. Christina Hendricks during her goth phase, circa 1992. (1975). Henry Sheremetah rides a chair balanced on saucer while water skiing on the Genesee River during the Genesee Aqua Festival in Rochester, New York. A nuclear explosion at the Nevada test site. Operation Dominic involved more than 100 nuclear tests in Nevada and the Pacific Ocean in 1962. French officers of the 257th Infantry Regiment posing with their masks and weapons in the Bézangé Forest during World War I, 1916. The Summer of Love was a social phenomenon in the summer of 1967 when around 100,000 young people, known as hippies, converged on San Francisco's Haight-Ashbury neighborhood. A crowded day at Lake Michigan as families flocked to the shoreline in 1925. The use of flamethrower during World War I. (1920) Police trying to hold off post-war unemployed protesters at 10 Downing Street, London. Two men in a pillory at the state prison of Bibb County, Georgia, 1937. Frank Zappa with his mom and dad in 1971. Bedouins, late 19th century. A couple dancing the Charleston in the 1920s. Afghan communist soldiers parading through the streets of Kabul after the victory of the April Revolution. April 27, 1978. Franklin D. Roosevelt as Assistant Secretary of the Navy. A man demonstrates a steel cap, splinter goggles, vision is obtained through thin slits in goggles, and a steel dagger gauntlet manufactured for the British military during World War I. Glass negative of Bertha Barber with her pet parrot, circa 1890s. CM Bell Estudio. Northern Fleet ships cover themselves with a smokescreen, 1944. Homing pigeons in a portable cage, 1918. Former Chinese Emperor Pu Yi, a prisoner, mends his own clothes. A crowd gathered around a W.H. Smith van that was overturned by a bus on Fleet Street, London, April 7, 1913. A young Pam Grier as Miss Colorado Universe runner-up, 1967. Imamoglu Ger Ali Efe, a famous gang leader of the Ottoman era, 1900s. Charlie Chaplin selling war bonds on Wall Street, 1918. Guy at a peep show machine. Lightning bolt strikes the Plume from a detonated United States Navy depth charge, Chesapeake Bay, October 24, 1957. Rolled stockings were a thing in the 1920s. Soviet volcanologists monitoring the eruption of the Tolbachik volcano on the Kamchatka Peninsula, Soviet Union, c. 1978. Riding home from the trenches, 1914. South Vietnam, 1968. An affectionate pair from the late 19th century. Children using a sheet of ice as a boat. February of 1935. Glass negative. Tibet during the Cultural Revolution. The Red Guards who damaged the Jokhang Temple. Most of them were the students of Lhasa Secondary School. Ava Gardner. Nikolai Yezhov kisses Mikhail Kalinin after the presentation of the Order of Lenin, July 17, 1937. German sappers flee to their positions after blowing up a bridge over the Daugava, western Dvina River, 1944. Fearless construction workers on the 69th floor of the Empire State Building, New York, 1930. Pam Grier in the iconic red jumpsuit from Foxy Brown, 1974. Russian giantess Elizaveta Lisko. She was born near Novocherkassk to a poor family in 1877, and by the age of 9 she was already 192 centimeters tall. Desert Nomads, Jerusalem, 1880. Showgirl with a stuffed bird in a cage on her hindquarters at the Latin Quarter nightclub, New York, 1952. French paratroopers trying to disperse Algerian independence demonstrators in Algiers. The mass uprising triggered by de Gaulle's visit to Algeria, 1960. Irish Macalla, c. 1950. Behind-the-scenes picture of Leslie Fuller, Molly Fisher, and the chorus girls in a scene from the film One Good Turn. This was filmed at Elstree Studios in 1935. In London, on Parliament Hill, men from a Zulu dance troupe demonstrate some African dance steps to girls. June 15, 1973. Linda Nicole trains in weightlifting under the guidance of Herbert Dennis, the 1963 Mr. Jamaica title holder. Vicki Dugan, American model and actress, March 29, 1957. Circa 1954, fans at Wimbledon make hats from newspapers to shield their heads from the sun. The librarian at Lorain, Ohio Public Library is looking at the 50,000 book chaos after one shelf fell over. The rest fell like dominoes. 1971. Young Ben Stiller. Syd Barrett during the 60s. Female librarian on horseback delivers books to the students of a mountain school. Kentucky, 1938. Australian soldiers pose with a captured Turkish sniper disguised as a cannabis bush. Gallipoli Peninsula, Turkey, 1916. Diane Lane, 1984. Kids dressed for Halloween on a school bus, 1980s. German Dornier Do-17 bomber crashes into a residential home in Belgium, killing all 4 crew members, along with 2 civilians in the house. May 25, 1940. Women in Saint-Urbain, Charlevoix, Quebec, Canada, baking bread for sale in an outdoor oven in the middle of winter in the early 1950s. General John J. Pershing, who commanded the United States Army in Europe during World War I, visiting his fallen soldiers, 1925. Engineer Karen Leadley working on the analog computers. In the Space Division of General Dynamics, 1964. Taken in 1918, this photograph shows a woman identified as Millicent Todd Bingham teaching French to American troops stationed overseas. Indian Sikh soldiers arrive in France during the First World War in 1914. Harvard's 1973 raft race on Charles River, Cambridge. Costumed couple at Mardi Gras in New Orleans in 1937. Two ladies dressed in fracks in a studio shot, circa 1870-80s, glass negative. Young bellhops playing leapfrog on the sun deck of United States liner Leviathan, former Hamburg America line vessel, Vaterland, on arrival at Southampton 1923. Hanging out with all the good vibes on the rooftop, circa 1991. Paul Walker with a friend in high school in 1991. Jane Mansfield photographed in her New York City penthouse for Life magazine, spring 1956.